On a crisp Sunday night in Kansas City, Arrowhead Stadium sizzled with anticipation. The Kansas City Chiefs were locked in a fierce battle against the Detroit Lions, and the energy was so thick it felt electric. But no one in the stadium, no matter how devoted a fan, could have predicted that the night's most unforgettable moment wouldn't come from a spectacular touchdown or a game-changing interception. Instead, it was a moment of raw, human emotion, one that left even the most hardened spectators breathless. Taylor Swift, global pop superstar, was spotted breaking down in tears as she watched her fiancé, Travis Kelce, suffer a brutal hit on the field. The stakes were already sky high. Travis Kelce, the Chiefs' legendary tight end, had been on fire all season, his game defined by a singular focus and the kind of athletic grace that made even his toughest opponents admire him. Off the field, Kelce had been the picture of happiness, swept up in the whirlwind romance with Taylor Swift. The media couldn't get enough. The two seemed to have the world at their fingertips, and their love story had become the stuff of modern legend. But as the second quarter ticked down and the Chiefs pressed toward the end zone, everything changed in an instant. Kelce leapt to catch a pass, his movements crisp and practiced. The ball was his, until out of nowhere, a Lions defensive end collided with him from behind. The impact was thunderous. Kelce spun awkwardly through the air, landed on his knee, and somersaulted onto the turf. The stadium, moments before roaring with excitement, fell into a stunned, horrified silence. Every eye in Arrowhead was fixed on the field, but the television cameras swung to the VIP section. There, amid a sea of red jerseys and flashing lights, Taylor Swift stood frozen. Her eyes went wide, her hands flew to her mouth, and for a moment the entire world seemed to shrink to just her and the man lying motionless on the green below. It was a moment of pure vulnerability. Tears welled up in Swift's eyes, her composure unraveling in front of millions. The pop icon, usually so poised, looked utterly devastated. She rose from her seat, trembling, unable to look away even for a second. People around her watched in empathy and awe. This wasn't the Taylor Swift of stadium tours and red carpets. It was someone scared, heartbroken, and completely present in the moment. Eyewitnesses in the VIP section would later describe the scene as surreal. One fan recounted how Swift's energy had been light and joyful all evening, her laughter bright and infectious. But when Kelce went down, everything shifted. It was like you could feel her pain in the air, the witness said. She was crying, but she was also so focused, like she was willing to get up with every ounce of her being. The crowd, too, felt the shift. Chiefs fans and Swifties alike held their breath. On the field, medical staff raced to Kelce's side, forming a protective ring around him. In the stands, Taylor clung to the railing, her knuckles white, her lips moving in what looked like a silent prayer. Time seemed to stretch on forever. The stadium, usually a fortress of noise, had gone eerily quiet. Taylor's tears were now streaming freely, and though she tried to wipe them away, her anguish was impossible to hide. Cameras caught every haunting detail. The way she mouthed his name, the way her entire body tensed with hope and fear. It was a reminder that behind the celebrity, behind the headlines, these were two people who loved each other fiercely. For Swift, whose every move is dissected by the public, this was a rare and honest moment of heartbreak. For Kelce, the stakes were more than just a game. They were personal, and the person he loved most was watching. And then, just as despair threatened to take over, there was movement on the field. Kelce pushed himself upright, shaky but determined. The crowd erupted in a roar that seemed to shake the stadium to its foundation. Taylor's reaction was immediate: relief, disbelief, joy. She gasped, hands on her head, as tears of fear transformed into tears of happiness. The cameras captured her smile breaking through, the way she seemed to laugh and cry at the same time. In that instant, every Swiftie in attendance rose to their feet, chanting Kelce's name. It was a tidal wave of love and support, not just for the player, but for the couple who had brought two worlds, music and sports, together in such an unforgettable way. This wasn't just a fleeting celebrity fling. Ever since Taylor and Travis went public in 2023, their romance had captured the imaginations of millions. Taylor, now a regular fixture at Chiefs games, wore Kelce's number 87 with pride. Her mere presence in the stands brought new fans to football, while Kelce's appearances at her concerts made headlines around the globe. Their relationship was built on mutual support, each championing the other's career, each fiercely proud of the other's achievements. On social media, fans dubbed them the power couple of the decade, a symbol of possibility and hope. They weren't just dating. They were redefining what it meant to be a public couple in an age of constant scrutiny. The Arrowhead incident was a powerful reminder of the human side of celebrity. It's easy to forget, amid the glitz and the glamour, that stars bleed and break just like everyone else. Taylor Swift, for all her success, faced the same fears as anyone who's watched a loved one get hurt. Travis Kelce, for all his toughness, needed the reassurance of knowing someone was in the stands, watching and waiting for him. Fans left the stadium that night with more than just memories of a hard-fought game. They carried with them the image of Taylor Swift, tears streaming down her face, refusing to look away. They remembered the roar of the crowd as Kelce stood up, and the way Taylor's relief was palpable even from the nosebleed seats. As the Chiefs moved on from the drama of the night, one thing was clear. The bond between Taylor and Travis had only grown stronger. The incident at Arrowhead was a test of courage, love, and loyalty, and they had passed with flying colors. For those watching, it was a reminder that the best stories aren't always scripted. Sometimes, the most unforgettable moments are the ones that catch us off guard and show us who we really are. What's next for Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce? If this night was any indication, their story is far from over. Fans will be watching every game, every concert, every tender moment caught on camera, hoping to catch another glimpse of that rare, beautiful connection. Because, in the end, it's not just about football or music. It's about the love that makes both worth cheering for. So as the lights dimmed on Arrowhead Stadium and fans filed out into the cool night air, one thing was certain. This was a night they'd never forget. And somewhere, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce were holding each other a little tighter, grateful for every second they have, on and off the field.
Kelce